always excited to be with the Ladies Who Launch crew. Last time I was here with you guys, it was in 2019. Doesn't that seem like 400 years ago? And look at us now. We're back in real life. I'm super excited. I'm super excited to be back in shoes that I have to remember how to walk in now. And to talk to some amazing women and really gather and talk about things that really matter. So as I mentioned, I'm Makisha Boothe, as Sarah mentioned, and I'm the founder and head business coach at Sistahbiz Global Network. Sistahbiz is a business hub for Black women entrepreneurs, and we provide training and coaching and community and pathways to capital for Black women entrepreneurs. As head business coach, I coach hundreds of women every year, and cash flow and making sure we get the money and keep the money is often a part of the discussion, and that's why I'm super excited. Navigate cash flow, profitability, and money mindset challenges by co-creating personalized strategic plans to prioritize profit and growth sustainably. So prior to starting Trillo Firm, Bianca was a finance leader for over 15 years at Fortune 500 companies, managing billion-dollar P&L budgets and operations along marketing and sales teams, and she's also a certified life coach and a trained financial coach and a Sistahbiz coach. So welcome, Bianca. Claudia McMullin, founder and CEO of Hugo Coffee Roasters, is a reformed attorney who in her prior life ran an animal rescue. She launched Hugo Coffee to marry animal philanthropy with commerce. Hugo Coffee's vision is to be the go-to coffee for animal lovers nationwide. It brings to life a world where you can have your cup of organic, rich coffee and drink in the satisfaction of helping animals too. That's beautiful. And then Regina, Trillo, founder of Nemi Snacks, felt unrepresented the moment she stepped foot in a U.S. grocery store from Mexico. Nemi Snacks was born with a mission to elevate Mexican cultura through better-for-you Mexican food while working directly with farmers. And where are you today in terms of managing cash flow, managing money? What has that journey been like for you?
Thank you. I started from zero, not having any kind of experience in the consumer packaged goods industry, no finance background. I felt unrepresented when I stepped foot at the grocery store, and I thought, this is not the cultura, the Mexican cultura that I know. I'm going to create a high-quality product made with real ingredients. Where do I start? So I joined a food and beverage incubator in Chicago. I took a class on how to start a food business, and there were two main takeaways that pretty much set the foundation of how I started. The first one was, it's an expensive business, and the second one was, know your numbers. And I didn't know anything of what those two things meant at the time, but I just knew that I needed to have good margins to be able to sustain the business, and I knew what I didn't know, and I needed help. So then I started asking people. I had several spreadsheets. I started using QuickBooks and all these things that, when people tell you, oh yeah, you just do it. Yes, but how? How do you know? Or who do you ask? So I started asking around the community, and then I started receiving all the data and numbers, and then I didn't know how to interpret that data. So what do I do with all these numbers? What does it mean? And then once things starts taking you to another and just really connecting with the community and the industry and asking for a lot of help, and knowing that not because I didn't know that made me less of or made the business less valuable. It was just an opportunity to get to where I wanted to be and to learn more. And then I started working since January last year with a fractional CFO who's an amazing founder. Her company is called My Pocket CFO, for anyone who's thinking about starting a business or has been in the industry for some time and wants to get a better understanding of their finances. Knowing your numbers gives you a lot of confidence. And that is a practice, and there's a discipline to that. So I am in a better place from where I started, and there's a lot of things to improve, but just being able to partner with people that know more in the industry that I could learn from has been pivotal to where we started and where we are right now.
You said you asked for help. Who did you ask for help, and where did you go for support?
Everyone. I started the business being shy, and then I pretty much learned that more than being a consumer packaged product business, it's a business about people. And that connecting with people and just sharing the story and knowing that people want to help you. We just need to ask for that help. And I didn't know how to ask for that help for a long time. But it starts with one question. It starts with telling your story, with connecting with people and sharing what you're going to and why you want to do what you're doing. And a lot of people connect with that and they're willing to help you. So it was from the food and beverage incubator, other accelerators. We are bootstrapped, so our growth has been the result of our good margins and grants. So with grants, it's not only, I think the least thing about grants is the money that you receive. It's very important. I'm not saying, no, we need money, yes. But it's more about the community. And really I wouldn't be where I am if it hadn't been because of the community. And when I talk about community, I not only mean fellow co-founders, people like you, grantors, customers, they're people. So that's where you leverage from and that's where you learn from and you ask for help. I've asked for consumers for a lot of help and
I literally went into I rented a tiny home in Idaho. I read a couple books and wrote a business plan for 5 days. Didn't know what the hell I was doing. I'm a lawyer, for God's sakes. And I was like, I just want to save animals. Yeah, I want to create a product that saves animals because I love animals. And that's what I did. And then I took money out of my house. I took $125,000 out of my house, and that's what started my business. And I ran out of that really fast, so there was no cash flow projection. And then I'm like, now what the hell do I do? So I just did. I mean, I'm always, and this is like a really important point I want to make, is I have been in reaction mode and fear mode more often than not in my business, and it's no place to be when you need money. You want to anticipate the need for money, and you want to plan for the need for money, and you want to do what you have to do to get to the place where you can get that commercial bank loan, which, by the way, I'm still not there. I've been there, I've been at this 6 years. I'm still CDFIs. I'm not even SBA worthy quite yet, but I'm working on it. I'm working on my credit score. I'm working on my debt. I'm working on all these things. And here's another thing, like FYI, like everybody thinks, oh, the SBA 7A, oh, the SBA this, they're great loans. Yeah, they're great, but you have to be profitable and cash flow positive, and none of that happened for me for a long time, right? And that's what you have to get there. So you need to know of all the opportunities that exist in this world, which, by the way, I agree with Regina. We were talking earlier about the positives of COVID, which, believe it or not, I can't fathom that I'm saying this today, but there were positives of COVID. COVID made me and a lot of people figure out how to find money and figure out how to find it quickly, get grants, get CDFIs, get loans, get bridge loans, do what you got to do. So what I did, I mean, I have really sustained my business. I still own 100% of my business. I've never gotten I've never gotten investor capital. And I've done it through my own money and my honey over there, my husband's money, who's here taking care of me because I'm a gimp, because my hip is 3 weeks old tomorrow. I did it through my own money, I did it through loans, and I did it through grants. And I've made a ton of mistakes. So if anyone wants to know about frogs not to kiss, you talk to me, and I will help you out.
Good stuff, good stuff. So Bianca, about you is how supportive you are in helping people evolve mindset-wise, and there's just a change that happens in your spirit and your soul when you become confident about numbers, data, money, and see that you can do it and build the business, and then the sky's all of a sudden the limit. And so every time they give feedback at Sistahbiz about you helping with coaching, it's so much more. They've changed them as women. They've changed as people and as human beings, not just they know their numbers. So I got to ask you, all those calls you're on, coaching that you do and the work that you do, what are some trends that you see in terms of mindset and the way people feel about money and their relationship with money?
Well, thank you. It's an honor. I see a few patterns. You all hear feedback? Good? Okay, thank you. So I see a few things, and some of the things that the ladies have mentioned on the panel as well. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of shame and guilt. And that comes from a few different things. So one is the fear of just being afraid and avoiding the numbers because they don't know what they're going to see, or feeling somewhat helpless in that I know it's bad, and so therefore it's better to just ignore it than to address it. Some of that shame from maybe decisions that have been made with money that weren't the best decisions to be made. And also because most of the people are very smart, very intelligent with what they do and what they know, but this area is something that has escaped them, if you will. And so it almost is like a hit to their self-worth, feeling that this is something that I should know. I should be able to figure this out, and that brings a lot of stress for them.
What does that look like, that journey from them coming in that way? What do they look like when they're exiting their coaching program with you? Like, what are some of the trends you see when you get results with women?
Yeah, so they're moving from that fear and that shame and that guilt to honesty. So that's the first thing, is being able to admit that there's an issue that I need to take care of. Then being vulnerable for reaching out for help. There's nothing wrong with that. So, do that. And then having curiosity and hope. And so when I think of curiosity, money is a lifelong journey. There's going to always be something, the next step to learn and grow about. So expanding their mind and being able to know that this is a process and to be willing to learn. And then having hope, because like we mentioned with the cash, there are going to be ebbs and flows and ups and downs that happen in business. And so being able to know that you can, get through that and that it's an ongoing process. So it's a complete shift in how they're looking at their situation now, but also what it can be.
I appreciate that. And I appreciate, Claudia, I'm going to jump back to you. I appreciate that you shared that you wasn't doing any of that stuff. Because sometimes when you're watching panels and there's a superstar on stage and she's like, I got all my stuff together, and you're like, I guess I'm disqualified. That's not for me. But it really is an opportunity for everybody in the room to know that everybody has different pathways, and wherever you are, you can move past whatever situation and in whatever state you're in to get where you want to be. So tell us, what have been some lessons learned for you, things that you've learned along the way about managing money?
Okay, number one, and everybody knows this, right? Cash is king, cash flow is queen, period. You got to have cash. It took me forever to know my numbers. It took me forever to get my head out of the damn sand, because I was like, oh. And then you face it head on, and then you figure out what the route is to getting to profitability and cash flow positivity. It has been not easy, and I've made many mistakes, and I have made mistakes of taking way too expensive money when I was backed up in a corner against the wall with a big ass PO from a UNFI, and I didn't have the money to fulfill the PO, and then of course, I'm going to go there. Let's go. All right, so when you're in the CPG world, the key, you always think, oh, I got to be in grocery stores. That's got to be what I have to do. You have to be in grocery stores. I got to be in 2,000 grocery stores. No, you do not. But if you are going down that path, which I was, because, just to backtrack one sec, in 2020, when COVID hit, I was 99% B2B hospitality. So I lost all revenue overnight for my roasting company. I'm in Park City, Utah. My coffee was sold in all the resorts, in all the hotels, and all the cafes, and blah, 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 and they all closed. But I had gone through Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business, and I knew that I needed to have a more diversified revenue stream. I needed more verticals than just this B2B hospitality. So I was in mid-pivot to direct-to-consumer online when COVID hit. And so what I did is I doubled down, and I just really raised a lot of money as fast as I could. And when I say that, I meant through grants, through loans, and all those things. I got a grant from from PepsiCo Frito-Lay. I was the Stacy's Rise grant recipient in 2020, which was fantastic. But then you got the CPG crash course, and you're like, I got to get a broker. I got to get a distributor. Got to get in this. And then you do, and then you do, and you get in. And you're like, oh my God, I'm fantastic. And then you get this big ass PO, and you're like, shit, I can't fulfill that. I don't have any kind of cash. And so then you take a stupid loan. And then that stupid loan is due every week. And then you think, oh, I got that loan because I'm going to grow like gangbusters. But then you don't grow like gangbusters. Then how the hell are you going to pay the loan? And then on top of that, you think UNY is going to pay you, and they don't pay you. You send hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of invoices to UNFI, and good luck if you get 5% back. Now, how are you going to pay a loan in that circumstance? That's the biggest lesson I've learned is those loans, the usurious loans where and you do it when you're back against the wall and you're terrified. Because you have to do this thing. You have to get into grocery, and you don't. And if you're going to get into grocery, people, you do some. You talk to this one.
I'm going for it next.
Because this one just said no to Target.
Wait. Let me get to her in a second.
Because you know why? She did the damn numbers. And she's like, well, this is not going to make any money. I'm not going to do that. Like, thanks for no, thanks for no. I mean, that is, you can say no. That's the key to this message. You can say no. And you can also negotiate. If somebody comes along like a Target or somebody and says, I want to put you in 500 stores, you go, yeah, I'll get in 50. How's that? We'll start with 50. Does that work? No, that doesn't work. Well, then I'm out. But oftentimes, they will work with you. So, and so now I've exited the grocery vertical largely. I got out of UNFI. They sent me a bill for $27,000 this morning, just FYI, which I'm going to fight. But I got out of UNFI, and I will be in grocery if it makes sense and it's shipped direct, like a Target, when I'm ready. Yeah. If they come knocking on my door.
See, I had to stay centered on you for a second because I want y'all to repeat after me. All money and good money.
And good money.
And so she found out real quick that some deals you got to walk away from. Speaking of, can you tell us about, Regina, your deal that came up with the big box company and why you made the decision that you did to walk away from it?
Yes. Something that I wish I would have heard sooner, and I think we need to talk more of, is how saying no, the role that it has in good cash management. Scaling the business is this balance between yeses and nos, and there is a discipline to saying no as well. And last year, I mean, as you said, you start the business and you start here, you have to get distributors, you have to get brokers. Sí, pero how much is that? And, how am I going to do it? I have no idea, and as of this day, I have no idea about how fundraising works. It's a very scary topic for me. And knowing what I don't know, I can only work with what I do know. And I do know that how much money I have and how far can I go with the funds that I have today. And with what's coming from the sales, from future payments, because it's, net 30, net 60, net 15, whatever payment terms you have. And last year, I got an email from Target. They wanted Nemi in the stores. And I thought, I'm Paulina Rubio, I know, celebrity, but I felt like the celebrity, I made it. I just made it in this industry. And then they said, we want Nemi, can you do a sales pitch, a line review tomorrow? And I'm like, they're really interested. Yes, I'll do it tomorrow. I didn't have a broker, I didn't have a distributor. Target has a model where you don't necessarily need one to go into their stores. Most stores, I would say, don't have that model, right? Like you need a distributor, broker, and you have to incorporate those costs in your price. So I do my pitch, I look at my numbers, I talk to Alice, who's a fractional CFO, and I say, with the amount of money that I have, I know that I can only purchase this amount of inventory from the manufacturing facility, plus all the marketing costs like doing demos in stores, promotions, people knowing that now I sell in Target, because if I don't spend in marketing, how will people know that I'm there and how will they buy and take the product off the shelf, which is really the challenging thing in the industry. So I do my pitch and I say I can only do 50 stores. And I can tell you that if we do 50 stores, we can have a successful partnership, and then we can take it from there and we can see where this takes us. They wanted 350. I couldn't do 350. There was no number to do 350. It wasn't, there was a number there saying minus many zeros. I didn't have that. And they were not interested in that. And I explained, it's just not the timing. And I think this was just a very good reminder that, yes, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, but you choose the amount of water that you want to put in it. And you have the right for that, and you have the power to do that. And it's this constant balancing game, and I knew that if I said yes, and I even, I said, if I go in and you tell me that you're going to support me with marketing as a Latina-owned business or something, how can you help me succeed if I'm telling you that with the circumstances I'm not going to be able to do it? And they're actually very good at that too, by the way. Target has really good incentives for small business owners and BIPOC-owned businesses. And it was just the timing wasn't right. And we had a really good conversation. We're still in touch. And when I'm in Target, I'll let you know, and you buy. But when I'm in Target, it's also this gift and opportunity that I have to represent not only myself, but as a Latina, to represent the community. And if I'm going to go in, I have to do it right. So just it's a choice. It feels like because they want me, I have to be there, but it's a mutual relationship, and it's a choice that you can make.
So, this is good, right? I want to ask you all to wrap up with one piece of advice that you have for the ladies in the audience as we think of managing money, managing cash flow, and that whole journey in your entrepreneurial journey. What advice do you have? Bianca, let's start with you.
Okay. One thing I would say is that, I'm sure you all heard about the who, what, when, where, how questions that you ask yourself. And so when you think about the what, the when, and the how, you can liken that to financial literacy and making sure that you know and you understand your numbers in the business. Then when you get to the why, you can understand, if you know all of those things and you know what to do and you're not doing it, then really investigating why that is and getting help and support so that you can adhere to the strategies that you have in place. And then when I think about the who, making sure that you do have support. And something that I'm a firm believer of, though, is that you have that support alongside that knowledge that you're giving and obtaining yourself. Because it's one thing to delegate, there's another thing to abdicate. And as you being a business owner, it's very important for you to understand the financial side of your business.
That's good. Claudia, piece of advice.
There's so much shame in making bad financial decisions for your business. I just really want to encourage people to let it go. Just embrace the fact that you made a decision and make a different one. And figure out a way out of the decision that you made that's a bad one. Because we all do it, and we're going to do it over and over again. And you just keep going like a shark. Because you have this thing you want to accomplish, and you're just going to keep doing it. So let go of the shame. Embrace your colleagues. Ask people questions. There are so many resources out there for women, for BIPOC, for so many of us. And if anybody has any questions on resources, come to me, because God knows I've looked at lots of them and I can help. And I really do enjoy helping others not do what I've done.
And you really do enjoy helping others. You've helped me So it's true. If you reach out to her, she will respond and she will try to help you however she can.
Thank you, honey.
See. Finance doesn't come natural to me. I have to create the space and the time to look at the numbers, to look at my financials. Helpful in any different other discipline too is I block some time for growth time, which is really finance time, but that's boring if I read that on, and if I think I have to do that. So it's growth time where I look at my expenses, my sales, the growth that we had. Does that align with the growth path that we want to take for this quarter, for this year, etc.? And that has helped me a lot. Again, coming from a place where I didn't even understand the language that people were using when they talked about finance, because I'm not a native speaker. So really finding this space of, if this is something that I don't know of, I put in the time to know about it and to learn from it. And then one thing that has been crucial, not only for the business in saying no to opportunities that you're not ready for, but in every way, in a personal way, normalizing saying no. Just normalize saying no, and it's okay.